So you have decided to become red pilled. You've seen feminism, you've seen the left wing, you've seen the overreach that they've done. They've made everything crazy. How are you ever going to set up a family when all the girls' heads are full of blather? How are you going to live in a society that is actively trying to destroy itself? How are you going to raise kids when they're getting propagandized by mad people inside of schools? It can't happen anymore. Things have gone too far. So you decide what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow Andrew Tate, I'm going to become a reactionary, I'm going to turn around and say no to everything, and I'm going to be somebody who decides that I don't like any of that stuff, and I'm going to make this a vocal part of my personality, going up online and saying, that stuff's horrible, I hate that stuff, all these types of things. Now, that's okay, I understand that. You have to put the foot down somewhere. But the school of life will teach you that being a reactionary is not the path to win. Let's take boxing, for example. If you go into a boxing gym and you start to spar and you come across people who really know how to box, you're going to go into the ring with them and they're going to do something quite fascinating. They're going to try to transform you into a reactionary because that's how they win. Think of Floyd Mayweather. He goes up in front of you, flicking out his jab, he starts pestering your face, you start to blink, you're like, what are you doing? Oh my God. You put your head down because you're trying to avoid getting hit in the chin so you can't see him anymore, and he's starting to control you. You start flicking that jab in front of you. And then what he'll see is he'll see your shoulder twitch. He'll see that you'll kind of look down, you'll get panicked, and then you'll hold your breath, all tense, really, really firm. You'll just throw your big arm. You'll try to throw this big overhand. And of course, he sees this coming because he's stoked the reaction. He stoked you to do this. So he's been waiting. And then the big overhand comes. The big stiff, telegraphed overhand comes. And Floyd steps back. He lets the overhand fly past his face and he goes in, bang, hard cross across your jaw. You wake up a couple of seconds later. You don't remember what just happened. You're panned out. Everybody's sniggering at you. You've got dribble coming out your nose. Your jaw is clicking when you try to talk. And you're breathing like... And what has happened here? You got knocked the fuck out, man. You got spanked because you were a reactionary. Because you came across a competitor who knew what he was doing, who had a plan formulated for the future. He was thinking at a higher level. You, as an amateur, think the boxing is all about being tough and going in there being grit. But Floyd Mayweather, his hands break all the time. Instead, he's intelligent. He goes in and he models out the person he's fighting and thinks about what they will do in response to this stuff. It's like chess. He's thinking in advance. And he's trying to stoke the reactions he wants so he can plan what to do with them. This is how it looks like magic when you see a really high quality fighter. This is important to think because clearly here, to be a reactionary is to be emotional, is to be easy to shepherd and control, is to be something quite dangerous. It's to be a loser fundamentally. The reactionary is the lower consciousness prey animal that the predator who is fully visionary and conscious preys upon. Now, this is quite abstract to take into the realm of culture. But this comes down to this idea of you deciding who you are, what your identity is, what you're going to do in the world. Because we're living through a chaotic time where identities are thrown up in the air and everybody's trying to create a new understanding of where do we go, what do we do? And this is something that René Girard used to talk about. He's French, so you have to say his name all fancy. He was talking about the problem of memetic spirals. He was big into this idea of memes, memetics. And he saw how there was this constant issue in human relations where one group would show up and then the other group would react to them and formulate their identity in opposition to the other group. And then the third group, or the other group again, would react to the new identity and spiral forward and back. And they'd go into this, what he called a cycle of violence or madness that would escalate and become more and more reactionary until eventually they have a big fight and then they release all that energy, or else they do something crazy like a human sacrifice in order to sort it all out. So I don't know, do you want to go down that path? Now, the thing that he was pointing out here is this problem of the unconsciousness of all this. You see a group of people like, for example, the 1950s Christians in America, and they live their beautiful white picket fence, 2.5 kids lifestyle, and they have all their American diners and stuff like this. And of course, what you get is you get this reactionary movement in the 60s, where everybody says free love, sex, take drugs, rock and roll, this type of thing. And what you're getting now is you're getting people reacting to all this and pulling back in an opposite direction. They're becoming conservatives in some type of way. And you kind of think to yourself, it's like, all right, well, they become conservatives, and then so what happens is the transgenders show up. And then what's going to happen now is people are going to become more conservative in a different way or something like this. And you kind of wonder, it's like, is anybody actually thinking here at all? Is there anybody here sitting down and saying, what's the vision for society I want to participate in? Do I want to be somebody who's building a future? Like, what is the future that I see? What is the future that I want? You go online now and you'll see Ben Shapiro, and he'll give you this identity as somebody who's always like looking at the newest, weirdest transgender with these weird, distorted sexual fetishes or something like this. And you'll say, all right, well, I guess I'll be the guy that laughs at that. And I'll identify as something, I don't know, related to the guy who makes fun of these types of things. things. But is that your plan for the future? What do you propose that we're going to do in this society that's going to be creative and assertive? What civilization are we trying to build? Maybe the great project is to transform civilization into Christian futurism. So all the churches rise up again and they transform in this elaborate project to change the world and all this. Well, what's your plan for that? You ever speak to these people who are so concerned about morality? And it's like, well, what about your church then? How are you going to fix that then? And they're like, I don't know. I haven't thought about that. I just wanted to complain on Twitter. I thought that's how it works. I just thought I had to react on Twitter or Facebook or whatever it is, complaining about all these memes that I'm seeing on the internet. So, well, why don't you go in to the real world institutions and go and enact your vision? Go and participate in the world. I think that would be much healthier for you. You'd probably take an awful lot of the anger out of you, and you'd actually go and build something that is useful. If you believe in this stuff so much, why not make that type of commitment? Or if you believe that we should go towards space like Elon Musk, why don't you participate in that vision? How do you achieve and get along with that project? What is the goal there? This type of energy is so key and so important, but people struggle to do this. It's psychologically difficult. So today I ask you, are you being reactionary? What part of yourself is related to reactionary? Are you getting sucked into dopamine spirals? How do you escape them and set out big plans and stand on firm foundations and say to yourself, what do I actually believe? What do I want to build? What do I care about? What would give my life meaning? Not just memeing.